Welcome to another Todd's
2-Minute Tech Tip Tuesday.
Brought to you by the National RV Training Academy, the largest hands-on RV training academy in America. Hey, before we get to the video, which I know this is the reason why you're here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything. Hit the subscribe button now. Thank you. Now, back to our Tech Tip Tuesday. All right, so on this week's Tech Tip, I'm going to read your questions. Here, I have a question. This is from Heavy Diz 4S. Heavy DS IVS. I think it's 4S. Anyway, this is what it says. Got a question for you, Todd. I just bought a toy hauler with the Solar Plus package, and it runs my fridge, living room AC, and the outlets all run on solar. I also have a generator. Here is the question. If an EMP happened, or a carrying event, if it happened, how can I make sure my RV is EMP proof? Got something for you. All right. Here we go. I got my tinfoil hat on, and not to make fun, but people who make fun of us who prep, right? We got tinfoil hats on because we know too much, and we don't want the government getting into our brain. All right, so here we talk about a carrying event, right? So that was just a geomagnetic storm took place. Basically, you had a high amount of energy going through the air. Now, I do not claim to understand fully EMP. Not only that, I think most people don't. Okay, I am one of those who's looking into it, but as technology grows, so does the effects of EMP. So here's the situation, right? Just in a basic knowledge, and I know so many of you are going to hit me on this, right? But an electromagnetic pulse, that can come from the sun, that can come from another country, it can come from nature itself, like the sun. Well, the more technology we put into our everyday components that run on electricity, then the more we need to be considering, of course, these electromagnetic pulses or geomagnetic pulses that can actually should fry our relays, right? We have little switches inside that open and close, right? They work off of logic. When you get hit by a pulse, super simple, closes them all, fries everything. The question is, since we have all these different things that run on electricity with these relays, right, how do we protect ourselves from any type of EMP, right? Now, I know that we have a solar event coming in April here in Texas and, basically across where we're going to have, some weird things taking place. Is there going to be an EMP? No. Solar flares happen randomly. By the time we figure it out, it's already too late. And then, of course, you have rogue nations that, of course, already have the technology. Right? They've just got to be smart, or dumb enough, or daring enough to use it. Okay? And what would that do? That would literally cripple us. We have become a society so dependent on electricity and everything else that all someone has to do is cripple it. Okay? And if it cripples it, it cripples society. So we're all wearing our tinfoil hats. How can we EMP-proof this thing, right? This is going to be impossible. So you have your load center, and what you would need to do is harden the load center. If you have an inverter, you need to harden the load center. I'll tell you, on my house, my inverter sets up are all hardened, okay? But you also have lithium batteries. Lithium batteries have a BMS. A BMS has relays or MOSFETs inside, and those are susceptible, okay? How do you harden this? And then how many load centers, right? You have your inverter, since you have a solar system set up, right? You have your load center after that. Well, if you have your inverter and everything passes through that, you need to harden that. Are there kits designed where you can harden that? I don't know. But what you can do is buy an inverter that's already hardened, okay? Will that stop everything? No, I don't think it will. Electricity moves nearly at the speed of light, right? Those relays, those MOSFETs have to close, and they don't close at the speed of light. It's, can we take that short burst within that fraction of a second without things actually overloading? Unless people actually keep trying that, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, but our best way to do this is to harden that inverter, right? That's where the relays are. Our best way to do this is to harden that inverter charger. Let all the power pass through there But you have your batteries to consider. Now, you can build a Faraday cage around there. And most attempts at a Faraday cage fail, right? The technology that we knew 10 years ago is so subpar to right now. So if you've been studying this for a while and you said, well, look, I've got my little bags here that are wrapped in foil and I'm going to Ziploc them closed. That's not sufficient. Might have thought it was back then. Here's the thing. Like I said, those lithium batteries, because there's a BMS inside, the BMS is going to fry. I looked at hardening mine, but since I build my own batteries, I just got extra BMSs not connected to power. In the event my battery takes a hit from an EMP event, take out the BMS, put on a new one. The cells are never connected to one another. In other words, my positive and negative are not connected. So if those relays, MOSFETs close, I will not hurt the battery. Beyond the battery, right, goes to the inverter. If the inverter's hardened, it shuts down, right? That's my best attempt at this point, okay, is to carry extra components that I can put back into my battery so I can wake my battery back up and harden my inverter. Now, for the rest of you, right, as you kind of looked up Carrington event and EMP and like, what the hell? Get you one of these. Chemtrails, right? Not chemtrails. EMP can happen. It will happen at some point. Someone's foolish enough to actually cause it to happen. Some rogue nation. I know a lot of people say, no, it's not going to happen because that would be foolish for another country to do that because that would cripple us financially, right? All other countries work off of us financially. Would that beat them? Well, all it has to be is a rogue nation who isn't a big player in the financial market anyway, right? Whatever. Okay. Is there a possibility? Is there a strong possibility? Yes. I know some of you, this is why I don't do lithium batteries, go old school batteries, right? Batteries not affected, old school, because there's no relays, no MOSFETs, no open and closed switches, not a big deal, okay? Everything else, I get it. How much money do you want to spend prepping for something that may or may not happen in your lifetime? Will it happen? Oh, yes. Will it happen in our lifetimes? I don't know. And is this a normal tech tip for you RVers? I don't know, but I do enjoy talking about it because for an RVer such as myself, who has a little bit of this information, yes, I have set myself up, to where I'm somewhat protected. Cross my fingers. I don't know. It's all theory. For the rest of you, what the heck is this tech tip about? I don't know. Todd's Tinfoil Hat Tech Tip Tuesday. In 2 minutes or less. There's your tech tip. All right, before you get to the bloopers, which is why you're here in the first place, the RV industry needs thousands of RV technicians and inspectors, and now is the perfect time to do that. If you want to make more money or have more control over your time, go ahead and click the link below. Or if you just want to learn how to fix your own RV, got something for you there. Head over to rvtechcourse.com and get started today. Now for the reason that you're out there in the video, roll the bloopers. Are you one of those that, what do we call those things where, ooh, and just hang around. The next tech tip may be exactly what you want. Todd's Tinfoil Hat Tuesday. I'll do that again. All right, I can take this off, man. I was actually getting radio signals. So I'm gonna put this down. This is kind of scary. Picking up what Korea was saying.